Crestmont Villa cookie, but it is in Seoul. What about our school's cook? Ryan asked, feeling confused. We will ask our school to transfer us to the Seoul branch. Do you want to go there with me, love? Jungkook asked with a smile. I would love to, Cookie. Ryan giggled, showing her smile. But why Crestmont Villa, and how did you got it, Cook? Ryan asked, feeling confused. Come, let me explain you everything, my love, Jungkook said. Jungkook sat up, resting his back against the wall, and Ryan sat between her husband's legs, resting her back on Jungkook's chest. Well, I'm not a lowlife like you think, Ryan, Jungkook said, and Ryan glared at him, hitting Jungkook's chest playfully. Jungkook laughed, holding Ryan's fist. Okay, I'm sorry, love. I won't say it again. Jungkook grinned playfully. You know Joan Group of Companies? Jungkook asked, and Ryan nodded her head. I heard from my dad that Joan Group of Companies is one of the top companies in Seoul, and later it went bankrupt. Ryan said, turning a little, resting her face on Jungkook's chest. You are right. My grandfather, John Jung-shik, was the CEO of Joan Group of Companies, Jungkook said, and Ryan widened her eyes. My dad took over the company after my grandpa. My dad was a gambler, a bad person. Basically, he was a failure as a son, as a father, and as a husband. He cheated on mom. He used to hit mom with belt. He used to abuse my mom, Jungkook said, and he noticed tears trickling down from his wife's sapphire eyes. Ryan listened to Jungkook's story with tears in her eyes. She couldn't believe the pain and suffering that Jungkook had gone through. She was so sorry that Jungkook had to endure such a traumatic childhood. Ryan reached out and took Jungkook's hand. I'm so sorry, Cookie, she said. I can't imagine what you went through. Jungkook squeezed Ryan's hand. It's okay, he said. I'm okay now. I have you. Ryan smiled. And I have you, she said. They held each other close, finding comfort in each other's arms. My kind-hearted baby, Jungkook said, wiping Ryan's tears. One day we saw that Dad was lying in the bed lifeless after consuming lots of drinks. Then after a few days, my grandpa also passed away from heart attack. Then we left everything in Busan and we came here to have a fresh start, Jungkook said, caressing Ryan's cheek. My grandpa was a very nice person. Unlike my father, he used to protect me from my dad when he came home drunk, and the Crestmont Villa belongs to my grandpa. We used to visit Crestmont Villa during vacation in my childhood, and now he wrote Crestmont Villa in my name in his will, Jungkook said with a small smile. I hope your grandpa's soul rests in peace, Ryan said, and Jungkook nodded his head. They saw their mom coming inside the room. Jungkook smiled, running towards his mother, hugging her tightly, telling her about the envelope. Jungkook, Ryan, and Mrs. Jones stood in front of the Crestmont Villa, carrying their luggages. Jungkook wiped his tears, remembering those beautiful moments which he spent here with his grandpa and his mom during his childhood, and Ryan looked at the mansion in awe because it looked like a fairy tale mansion with its grand architecture and lush gardens. Cookie, this is so beautiful. Are we gonna live here from now? Ryan giggled, clapping her hands. Yes, love, this is our house. Jungkook smiled. Cookie, it is like my dream house, Ryan said, bouncing cutely. Mrs. John silently prayed that this couple should be together forever. She knew that Jungkook had been through a lot in his life, but she could see that Ryan was making him happy. She was grateful that Ryan had come into Jungkook's life. Miss John also knew that Ryan is a good person. She is loving, caring, and supportive. She is the perfect person for Jungkook. Come on, let's go inside, Jungkook said, looking at the Crestmont Villa. Jungkook looked at his mom, who winked at him with a big smile. Jungkook grinned, looking back at his mother, making Ryan confused. Why are you guys so? Ryan yelled when Jungkook carried her in bridal style. Ryan giggled, circling her hands around Jungkook's neck. I'll take this room, Mrs. Jones said, going inside her room, and Ryan skipped inside the mansion looking for the best room. Jungkook trailed behind his wife with a big smile. Ryan and Jungkook walked into the master bedroom of the Crestmont Villa. Ryan's eyes widened in amazement. The master bedroom was cozy. It had a king-sized bed, a full-size mirror and a private bathroom. The walls were painted a soft white and the furniture was made of dark wood. The room was decorated with simple but elegant taste. Oh Jungkook, this is so good. Wyan giggled, clapping her hands, jumping around the bedroom. It's been a month since the Joan family started living in the Crestmont villa. Jungkook also got a part-time job in a tech company, which paid him well. Jungkook told his mother to stop working, but she declined him, saying that she'll get bored in the house without doing anything the entire day. Wyan also wanted to do a job to help her family, but Jungkook politely said Wyan not to do anything, but to look just pretty for him, making Wyan pout. Then, after bugging her husband a lot, Wyan started taking tuitions after school. Jungkook came out of the shower, his hair still damp. Wyan was waiting for him in the bedroom with a tray of banana milk. She smiled when she saw Jungkook and set the tray down on the nightstand. Here you go, she said, handing Jungkook a cup of banana milk. I thought you might like this after your shower. Jungkook took a sip of the banana milk and smiled. It's perfect, he said. I'm glad you liked it, Wyan said. Now why don't you come sit down and let me dry your hair? Jungkook sat down on the bed and Wyan started drying his hair with a towel. She was gentle and careful, and Jungkook could feel the tension in his shoulders starting to melt away. This feels so good, you are the best baby. Jungkook closed his eyes, leaning his head back on Wyan's soft chest, making Wyan giggle. Suddenly, Jungkook received a call from his manager. He took out his cracked phone out of the cupboard, going to the balcony to attend the call. Wyan opened her purse. She noticed that she had saved enough money to buy a new phone for her husband. She giggled, ordering a brand new phone for Jungkook. After 2 days, Jungkook woke up to the sound of his bedroom doors opening. He blinked sleepily and saw Wyan standing there carrying a small box. Wyan sat down on the edge of the bed and handed the box to Jungkook. What is this? Jungkook asked, taking the box. It's a gift for you, Wyan said with a smile. What is this, baby? Jungkook asked, opening the box. He widened his eyes when he saw a brand new mobile inside the box. I got it for you, hubby. How is it? Wyan said, and Jungkook switched on the mobile. Thank you, love, but you didn't have to, baby. Jungkook said, exploring the features of the mobile, making Wyan chuckle. Jungkook smiled because he liked his new phone very much. Jungkook's heart swelled with love. Wyan was always so generous and thoughtful. She was the best wife a guy could ask for. Wyan was sitting on the couch, preparing for her next tutoring session. She smiled when she saw her husband's name on her phone screen. Okay, students, I'm going to talk to your 𝐃𝐄𝐿, so don't make any noise, okay? Wyan said, turning to the group of students sitting around her. The students nodded quietly, went back to their work. Wyan blushed, biting her lower lip while doodling something on the notebook. Wyan gulped, looking at the students who were looking back at her with wide eyes and red faces. Some students were even wiggling their eyebrows with a teasing smile. Wyan made a poker face looking at the students. Why are you looking at me like that, you sneaky kids? Right, Kim Namjoon is the president of South Korea 10 times. Wyan said, glaring at her students. She was about to talk with Jungkook, but a girl interrupted her. Wyan Nunni, you're wrong. It is Moon Jae-in, is the president of South Korea, the girl said, making Wyan sigh, and she could hear Jungkook laughing from the other side of the mobile. Wyan yawned as she looked at the clock. It was 1 a.m. in the morning, and Jungkook still wasn't home from work. Wyan's stomach grumbled in hunger. She didn't eat in dinner because she wanted to wait for Jungkook, but now she was starting to get really hungry. Wait for some time, hungry rats. Jungkook will come home soon. Wyan patted her tummy, lying down on the bed. Though Jungkook already told her to eat without waiting for him, but Wyan being Wyan, she didn't eat her dinner without Jungkook. Wyan giggled as she heard Jungkook unlocking the front door. She smiled and ran towards the entrance door, jumping on her husband. Jungkook circled his arm around Wyan's waist and headed towards their bedroom.